What is mind power? Mind power, according to my understanding, is God's power. The power of your mind literally comes from the power that you have in relation to your relationship with God and the universe that He's created, and of course, the Holy Spirit, Jesus Christ. The more closer you are to the light and the more connected you are to source energy, which is God, the presence of His Holy Spirit, and the understanding of the universal forces, the more empowered you become mentally, because a lot of people don't actually understand this concept. Mentality is actually spirituality. Spirituality and mentality is, they almost cousins, really. They related. These words may insinuate or imply some kind of difference, but in actual fact it's the same thing. Because remember, words have been developed over the past couple of decades and centuries and so forth. So words are really just trying to emphasize the essence of something, and the essence of spirituality and mentality is unseen forces. It's invisible energy, and quite frankly, that's the bottom line: energy, because everything is energy. So mind power is the ultimate level of energy in terms of your performance mentally, and of course balanced by the spirituality aspect. So perhaps it's a very good point to bring them together and actually try and explain it from that perspective. Remember, this is just an introduction. Mind power is very broad. It goes in much more depth, and over the next couple of videos I'm going to try and explain as much as possible with regard to mind power and the different avenues to explore. But generally speaking, mind power is your ability to think, to feel, and therefore make strategic actions, take actions, inspired actions, that is, into a direction that will help you to achieve exactly what you want to achieve. Simply put, mind power is your ability to achieve anything, do anything, and become any type of person that you wish to become. So you can and you should be able to achieve anything when you learn and harness the power of mind dynamics and forces and energy. Energy cannot be created, it cannot be destroyed. That means it can only transform and be transferred into other realms of form. So, information is about data that allows you and enables you to form something. So you form a product, you form a service, you form a desire using your mental powers to manifest that physicality into what we call reality. I know it sounds a bit complex, but I hope that I'm hoping to simplify it for you. Mind power is your ability to think about something, feel it, connect with it, and then take some kind of action towards making that thing become a reality, but with the understanding that your job is to be receptive and to receive the gift that has already been created. So everything that you see around you, for instance, is energy, and everything has already been created. Your responsibility is to form something which we would call a dream. You'd call it your purpose, you'd call it a vision, it could be a desire, a burning desire to achieve something, which could be an ambitious project, or maybe you just want to get a job, or you just want to be in a very loving relationship. You want to find your soulmate. Finding a life partner is a very powerful project, and mind power is what you are always using to achieve absolutely everything. So you've heard a lot of speakers telling you that you can be anything, you can do anything, and they've tried to explain the laws of attraction and the laws of the universe and so forth, but then a lot of people end up stumbling at the fundamental basic stages, in my opinion at least, simply because there's a lack of connection to the real source of mind power. Look, a lot of people believe that they're creators. A lot of people believe that they've got the power and that it comes from within, which is partly true. But one thing that you really want to emphasize and really highlight, it's very important. Humility in this regard is of the greatest importance. I cannot overemphasize it. And this is the fact. You are not a creator. You are a creation. You are a creation, and your purpose is to manifest the creation that is possible. It is to manifest the potential energy that is within this earth we're already within. Let me give you an example, or rather, let me try and explain and elaborate. Mother Nature and this planet that we live in, it already has everything. So we'll never need to fetch something from another planet, at least not from a survival perspective and a living perspective, not within our lifetime. We'll never fetch resources from other planets in order to create something within this planet. This planet has everything that we already need. All the raw materials, the seeds, the plants, the vegetation, the animals, all the resources that we possibly need already exist in some form of energy. Now, your responsibility as a human being is to discover yourself within the realms of this energy ball, and therefore, with the information that you gather, with the formation and the uniformity and the mind power that you then begin to harness, your thoughts, your emotions and actions, using those forces, what you then do is you form your life. So when you form your life, you become transformed into another sort of reality. So for instance, from rags to riches, from being unemployed to being employed, from being an employee, for instance, to being an employer, to starting your own company, to inventing, to thinking, getting married, having kids, traveling around the world and experiencing different things and coming up with all sorts of innovative ideas and innovations and everything that you can possibly imagine, everything that you see around you, whether it's tangible or it's intangible, perhaps it's a service, you're a consulting executive, you are a VIP somewhere, or you are doing something that is a service. That within itself is the transformation process that enables you to create something, but not from a creation perspective, but from a creative perspective. So the creator and the creation, the realm in between is the creative space. The creative space of reality manifesting and being made real, that is the transformation process. And this entire phase and this entire reality and formation, it's based on mind power. So your ability to be anything, do anything, and achieve anything is based on your relationship with the universe, your relationship with people, your connectivity to those around you, but most importantly, your connectivity to God and His authority. Mind power is your ability to think, feel, and then make and take an inspired action that translates into the reality and into the manifestation that you desire. Simply put, or rather, to kind of try and decide whether you know what mind power is or not, look at all the avenues and the aspects of your life in the sense of your marriage, your relationships, your physical well-being, your financial well-being, your spiritual alignment and connectivity, your emotional intelligence, your self-control and self-discipline. All these aspects of what envelopes into being and forming a human being, that should give you clarity as to whether or not you understand what mind power is. So if you've got the fruits, if you've got the evidence in your life that you are succeeding and going forward, then yes, you are on the right path. You pretty much know what mind power is. But if you're always struggling and if you're always stressed and you're always under pressure and you can't find Mr. Right, or you can't find the right woman to be in your life, or you're parents are, really, whatever case might be, if you are going through various components of uncertainty, anxiety, and stressful conditions, and you're experiencing things that you don't want, and you're experiencing unwanted things, then you need and you must develop your mind power capabilities, because the average person relies heavily on actions as opposed to mentality and spirituality. Everything around you begins in the mind. Everything around you is formed from literally your thoughts. It begins as an idea, and then it becomes an emotion, and then from the emotion we move to the realms of actions. But the average person begins from the action perspective, and then they react emotionally, and then they end up thinking about what just happened. Oh snap, I didn't think about it. So mind power is the process of thoughts first, and then the emotional content, and then the actions. So it is thoughts, emotions, actions. That is what mind power is, but ultimately it is about feeling good, feeling gratitude, feeling appreciation for the spaces around you, and ultimately manifesting that reality that you desire.